Well, Rebecca, I have one last question.
Hmm.
It's been a real joy to speak with you. Imagine you're mentoring a less experienced but rising star in your organization that someday, aspires to be in a role like yours. What would you share with them that you've learned along the way?
I think for me, there's two things, right? Just be curious. Do not be afraid to go into areas where you don't have prior experience, right? If you're technical, learn the business. If you're business, learn some of the technical and don't stop learning. I find that the more you expose yourself to areas where you haven't had some prior experience, the faster your brain is going to pick up, oh, right, this is what we do. This is how we learn. And you get quicker and faster at it. I just don't stop learning. Just figure out where it is you kind of want to go and don't be afraid. I know it can be scary to go into areas where you haven't had kind of some prior experience, but try it out. That's sometimes where you get new roles and new opportunities that you never thought you were going to have. And again, it just teaches your brain how to pick up things that much faster. So I think that's incredibly worthwhile. The other one is practice your influencing skills as much as you can, right? Really try to understand partners, try to influence them, try it out in low risk environments, try to predict what it is that they're going to ask you and the questions that they're going to ask you. Ask them a lot of questions as well to get their perspective. One of my most favorite things to do is actually sit at the table with sometimes, those executives that are even more senior than me. And not that I want FaceTime with them for them to get to know who I am, but more that I want to hear the questions that they're asking because it gives me so much insight. Sometimes I'll predict it and play a little game with myself. I predict okay, what could they ask? And I can kind of be prepared for it. So really practice that piece of it by asking a lot of questions and sitting at the table and predicting what people are going to say so you can craft your message accordingly. And the other thing I would say is don't be afraid to share your perspective. I know when you're going in and you might be talking to more senior leaders that you can kind of get nervous speaking to people and you kind of get a little bit worried, maybe they don't think I'm experienced enough. And, what do I really have to offer? And is this perspective worth sharing? And I would say, don't be afraid. For me, I love to hear from maybe my less experienced work people because they do have innovation solutions. They are what's going on. And so I don't know everything, right? And I need to hear from them. So, I would say continue to be brave, share your perspective in terms of that, and that'll really hone your influencing skills.
Wow, that's great advice. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. It's just been very enlightening. It sounds like you have an incredible organization. I wish you the best. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks, everyone.